of the love from our Mr. Beanie. Um, while you guys are coming in, just to give you an idea of what the room is about, this is your grant and credit room. We always start with the foundational questions about credit. So whenever you guys come in, the first 10 to 20 minutes, we are going to be going over credit foundations to make sure that you guys understand the foundations of credit, what is set up on, so that you can make massive movements forward to reaching your goals. You don't know what the goals are if you don't know how the calculations are going. Now, before I ask the question, I want to go ahead and have some quick hot topic conversations. So, we know that the CFPB is currently suing Experian because of their current violations that they have, where they were telling people things were verified and validated when they were not doing their job. However, we also know that there is an executive potential pending order to freeze or cease the CFPB. We do not have any concrete information as to what that's going to look like moving forward. So the only conversation that we can answer is, yes, we know that they're being sued. I will drop the link to the DIY platform, you guys, if you want to go ahead and start repairing your credit on your own using a system that does Metro 2, does factual disputing, and does consumer law, and is taking into consideration and including the letter that the credit reporting agencies are being sued. Okay. So I will drop that link in a minute. Give me 1 second, because like I said, it's sports and dinner time over here. So please forgive us on the Sunday. But as always, credit foundations is always the conversation. So hey Mario, hey Pamela, hey Ann. I'm sorry, hey Maria. My apologies. I didn't have my glasses on. Want to go ahead and start with the first question. What is the heaviest weighted portion of the FICO score? Does anyone have the answer for me? You can come off of mute or drop it in the chat. Participant. I think I let everyone in. Hey, Steve. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Awesome,
Hi.
awesome. Hi, Colleen. All right, what's the heaviest weighted portion of the FICO score? I need points and percentage. Not yet.
Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
The heaviest weighted portion of the FICO score. Benny has it in the chat. He said payment history. Let's go, Benny. Tell me what the points are and what is the percentage, please. Does anyone know? Yep, Benny got it in the chat. 35% with 192.5 points. You got it. What's the next heaviest weighted portion of the FICO score? Let's see. Is that in the chart? Usage of credit. Okay. What is, yep, also known as utilization. What is the points and what is the percentage, please? No one has it? All right. Usage is 30% of your overall score, which translates to 165 points. Does anyone know what the next one is? Payment history is the first one, Colleen. That's the heaviest weighted portion of the FICO score. All right, guys. So I think I see a couple of new faces in the room. So let me go ahead and break it down because I want to make sure everyone has it. Hey, Denise. Hey, Irving. Hey, Sarah. I think I said hey to Steve already. All right. So we're going to break it down. There's 5 components. Okay. Payment history is worth 192.5 points, which is 35%. Utilization is worth 30%, which is 165 points. Age, you got that right, Miss Denise, is 15%, which is 82.5 points. Mix of your credit, which is revolving versus installment, is worth 10%, which is 55 points. And inquiries is also worth 55 points at 10% also. That is the foundation of an 850 credit score. I'm sorry, 800 credit score. If you want to be in the 800 to 850 range. Something I need you guys to point out is that once you are at the 760 mark, you are getting the same interest rates as someone who has a 800 credit score. All right. So if you're wanting to reap the benefits, the same interest rates, the same, you don't have to worry about paying these things. Once you get to a 760, that means something. Now, I want to make sure that we're clear that you have to make sure that you have all the components, because if you have the number but you do not have the right profile, you're still going to get denied for funding or application, right? So we want to make sure that you are set up for success. Thank you guys for giving me the first 10 minutes of your, well, it was 7 minutes. Look, we did it early today. If you guys have any questions or any questions on grants or credits, the floor is you guys. Just a quick reminder, we have a hard stop at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. PST. West Coast. I don't know what it's called. Any questions, guys?
I have a question. I'm sorry. I don't know how I haven't got to raise my hand yet.
You're fine. What's up, Colleen? What's your question?
Okay, because this is my first time here, I have been watching some of your previous ones, but so you said payment history is your number one thing, and I that is definitely out the door for me right now. How do I'm sure you have a certain thing on how to go about fixing that, but
So it depends. So the payment history, the platform that let me grab the link. I just said that. So what I can tell you is payment history impacts your score for the 24-month window. So what that
okay.
means for you as the consumer is that what you can do starting if you're not ready to dispute the actual process, right? If you're not ready to go through writing disputes or starting to challenge your credit, what you would want to focus on is the cards that you currently have or the accounts that you currently have. Set them up on automatic payment while
Okay.
you are in the process now, right? So that way you can at least make sure that it's paid no later than the due date that's necessary, right?
Well,
What
what if you're
happens?
past that point where you can't really make the payments anymore?
So I have several questions. Are the accounts open or closed at this point?
Most of them are closed.
Okay, so if the accounts are closed, more than likely they've already been placed into collection, right? Um, are they in charge off status or just in collection status?
That I don't know. Would that
Okay.
be on my credit report?
It will. So
Okay.
I'm going to drop the dispute process link, and I'm also Megan, if you have your link for credit
Yep.
monitoring, if you can drop it in the chat too. What I would suggest if you're asking a starting point, the number one thing I would suggest for you to start at is get a copy of your credit report and see where you are. Like right now, today, what is it showing? What is in cancellation? What's in collection versus what's in charge off? The difference between collections and charge off is a collection account means that you're past due. Normally, in that under that 180-day window, your account is still open. They'll still allow you to like make payments and get caught up. And I'll give you a tip on if you're in that status in 1 second. The other option is a charge off. When you're in charge off, that means that they've in their mind processed that you're not going to pay them. So now that account is closed, which means if it's a credit card, you no longer have access to the actual credit card or credit line. If it's something else like a car, you might end up getting it repoed or something of that nature, right? If your
Yes, and the
account,
car,
go ahead.
go ahead. And
No,
I
no, go
did
ahead.
have a car, I had a car repossessed.
Hmm.
So I don't
Okay,
know how, there's so many things that my life just fell apart last year. So I'm trying to fix it, but I
that's
just don't
okay.
see a way out.
That's okay. So we're gonna think. So what I would say is that there's certain layers of things that are important. So number one, if you when you pull your credit report, if when you look at your credit report, you do not see an open and active account, I'm going to drop a few links in the chat of accounts that you can secure that will help build your credit profile. Because here's the thing. If all that's sitting on that credit report are negative items, then you're not, even if you, I'm sorry, hold on a second. You have to wait till I get off my coaching call, okay? Okay, thank you. So sorry about that, guys. I have a 7-year-old. So one of the things that people always miss is that they decide to not put anything positive on the report. If everything that's sitting on the report is negative, you have to shift that notice and try to rebuild. So since what you're saying to me is you're in the rebuild phase, what you want to do is pull your credit report, see if there's anything open that you can salvage, see where you are so that you can create a game plan as to what can you salvage to save. So for instance, let's say you do have a credit card, it's 90 days past due or it's 60 days past due, and you call them and they're like, yes, we can, it's still open. Then my recommendation would be to try and pay the minimum payment times two plus $4. That will give you, create some kind of breathing room to get you back in a good place. But if financially right now you are not at a place where you can pay anything, then what you need to do is know where you are and then get a game plan together so that once the income comes in, you can then figure out where to pivot. Does that make sense, Colleen?
Yes, I know for a fact that at least one, if not two, of my cards have been well over 120 days, but they're still sending me messages saying, hey, let's like come up with a payment plan or something. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so I'm like, I don't even know
Yeah, give
what
them a
that,
call. Give them a
okay,
call because sometimes they
but I
have
don't have any
internal
money right
programs.
now. I don't have any money to give them.
Okay,
That's why I don't call them.
So
But I
then,
guess,
so then pause for a minute. If you don't have the capital, then this conversation is a mute point. And when I say that, what I mean is if you don't have the capital to pay them, then the issue that you need to be focusing on is getting the money together for you to survive. Credit cannot be a primary focus if what you need to focus on is gaining your footing. And I think a lot of times people lose focus because we're trying to run two races at once. What I want you to do is if you're telling me right now financially, I don't have the money to give them, I don't have that capacity, then what you need to be focusing on is paying the bills that are in your household that are going to keep you moving. Does that make sense? Like
right.
keep you going.
Yeah.
Your
But
credit
I guess
cannot, go ahead.
I'm sorry. The reason why I'm worried about it is because I don't have a car and I need to get a car and I can't, so I can go to work because I have a job. I have a really great job waiting for me to get a car so I can go to work. And this is like the circle I have been in. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, just if I could, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe I could figure this out to where I can raise my credit just enough, or I don't even know. But I did print a credit report from a link somewhere that you posted one day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's saved. It was probably a couple weeks ago. How often can you print that?
If you're using the free annual credit report, you can go in
Mhm.
and get an updated report every 7 days. If you're using one of the regular credit monitoring, you're not updating the report until 30 days. Um,
Okay.
I, so I definitely hear and feel what you're saying, Colleen. I think that what I would say is to pull on your community if you have one, because I have heard you say that before about the vehicle. And I
Hmm.
remember we were talking about you getting a rental, and you said that you were doing that as well to kind of not
I
create a
tried.
bigger space, right?
Yeah, well,
So,
I tried that. I
mhm.
tried the thing like to do it with my business. I actually went and got an EIN like you told me to. And then I tried to like I went to one of those things and they said that I guess I didn't qualify for their business program or something because I don't rent enough. I don't even know, but I might
Okay.
have done it wrong. I might need your advice on that one again.
So let me ask you, Colleen, what does your community look like?
Oh gosh, I don't know what you mean by that, but I live in a really rural area, but I live out in the middle of nowhere and I don't really know anybody here.
Okay.
Um, so I don't have any family that I could ever ask any.
To get
Yeah.
support. Okay.
Mm-mm.
So what I can say, I think Megan, isn't there like a program where you can like get a car from the community or something?
Yes and no. There's many the community. There's cars for charity. There's a whole bunch of stuff for like free cars and like for, working moms and stuff like that. But there's
Mm-hmm.
also if you have a car that you can turn in, it's like a junk.
Mm-hmm.
You can also
A
get that.
junk car. Yeah. You can get that
So,
discount. I would definitely I when I was growing up, I remember the Salvation Army had something at one time. I don't know if they still have a program available. But I think that Colleen, I get what you're saying when it comes to credit. And I know that you had said before that you were even having a hard time with the buy here, pay here. So
Mhm.
unfortunately, you are in a very awkward space because there's not many places that's going to give you funding if you have late payments in the last six months, right? If you have a negative inventory in the last 6 months. So
Mhm.
what in essence you would have to do is create some kind of breathing room to where you have something showing on time payments for at least that 6 months, so you can then try and go and get the car, right? But you have to go back to the game plan. Right now, worrying about the cards that have been that are in collections and the people that are calling you. There's really nothing based on what you're telling us. Again, I'm only going off of what you're
Right.
sharing
No.
in this space. If you don't
Yep.
have it, then that conversation is, hey, if you guys have a program, or if I have insurance on the credit card that can offset because currently I don't have the income, that would be the dialogue that I would have with the creditors. To be quite honest, guys, the conversations with the creditors need to happen before you get into I'm late by 30 days. So if you know that the money is not coming in where you need to, those conversations need to happen before you decide, before it gets to that 30-day window, because you have a little bit more flexibility to create a cushion. In this particular case, you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. And my recommendation is going to be at the job that you have, what community can you pull on at the job that might be able to help you get back and forth? What resources does the job have that can offer you that while you're trying to figure it out? Because I remember the last time you were on, you said you were renting the car. So if you can still do that to give
Nope.
yourself some breathing room, then great. If that's not something else that you can do, then I would say to try and see what programs locally can help you. Because unfortunately, you're gonna say like there's not a buffer that I can offer you, because credit wise, you have to have no late payments for the last 6 months, even if you
Right.
wanted to
Okay.
get a car. You get what I'm saying? So we have to
Well,
create that 6 month strategy to kind of
yep.
give you that breathing room that you're going to need to get on the other side of it.
Yeah, it's been tough. It really has. I'm trying. I'm trying.
Yeah.
I did. I mean, the job that I had, they rented me a car for a couple months, but it just
Mm-hmm.
wasn't long enough because they were only scheduling me like 3 days a month, and I was like, or maybe 6 days a month, and it just wasn't enough for me to get the money that I, needed to pay my bills and, get some money for a car or whatever. And so, I mean, I got Carvana said that they would gladly sell me a car, but they want $2,000 down, and I just don't have it. And so I'm like, okay, I have to come up with a way to get $2,000. Then that's what I need. But so I did kind of like figure that out, but it seems more feasible, right? And some of the places I have filled out like some grants for free cars, and I haven't heard back anything. So, I mean, I'm looking. Something will happen. I was just trying to get like, because when you told me I could get a car through my EIN, like as my business,
Mm-hmm.
I maybe if you have a different, maybe went through, because I didn't click a link or anything. I just went to try to sign up like through Enterprise or whatever for like a
Enterprise is
business.
not the best. Hertz is the one that I told you about, and Budget. Those two companies are a lot better, and you can fill it out online or call in. But again,
Okay.
some of them do have qualifications that you have to rent a certain amount of time under your business.
Mhm.
And since you just got the EIN, I know that Enterprise requires that. I cannot confirm if Hertz does, because I've had my Hertz um corporate account for a long time, so I can't even tell
Mhm.
you.
Well, they
Um,
never even asked me for an EIN yet, though. They just asked me
mhm,
how many rentals do I rent, like.
mhm,
And so I was like, well, I just told them, about what I would plan on probably renting.
mhm,
And she said it wasn't, but she did tell me what the qualifications were. And if they changed, or if I thought I had got it wrong, I'd come back and fill out the application again. So I did
mhm.
do that. So I'm waiting to hear back from them again. So we'll
Okay.
see.
Okay. And see if that'll help you
And
with
did you give
moving.
me a different link, you said, for a different car rental company?
No, I think I gave you guys a link previously called carrentals.com.
Okay.
Carrentals.com is normally
Yeah.
who I use before I got my corporate account. And I actually recommend it to a lot of my clients to use as well, to try and find places.
Yeah. So I appreciate that. I actually, the only reason why I choose Enterprise is because they're the only car rental place within like 30, 60 miles from my house. So it's the
No, no,
most,
that makes sense. It's the most sensible. And you have to do what's sensible for you. But if you're asking me what you need to do, you already have a
no,
game
yeah.
plan. Yeah, you already know that you need to
Yep.
get the $2,000, right, to get Carvana. But you want to make sure that you're having at least 6 months of not no late payments on whatever, at least one account, if you can possibly have that at all. But right
Mhm.
now, it's just what I would say is work on building a community. If whether it's people at the job, getting to know them and seeing like locationally where they are to you, and see if maybe that's something you can lean on because you may not have family and friends like in the vicinity. That would
Uh,
be an idea.
yeah.
But again, I definitely know it's going to be hard, but the fact that you already
Well,
know what the goal
it's
is, I think you'll be able to get over the hump.
definitely the goal. And yes, it's because the job is not just your normal job. It's a traveling to surrounding states dental hygiene job. So
Gotcha.
yeah, and it's fine. I have been talking to them. They have been very kind and patient. They want me to
Hmm.
start on the 18th of this month. So
Okay, congratulations. So you'll get more
well,
hours, which would be a good thing.
if I get a car between now and then, I will get more hours. She did say possibly she could have somebody swing by and pick me up, but I don't see swinging by from the other side of Tennessee to travel to the other side of Kentucky to go. It just doesn't seem like it's something that is. I don't think they realize where I live, but you never know. And I did
Pray about
have,
it. Pray about it and see what opens up for you.
I did have another good friend of mine who's a dentist. She asked me to temp for her for like 3 weeks, and it just so happens to be the day after I'm supposed to go work with this company. And she said she would be able to front me my first week's pay if I needed it. So
Okay.
I'm gonna, I'm really hoping. I just hated asking her, but she seemed pretty okay with it. She said, "Tell me what you need," but I'm so scared. I just hate doing
Use
that,
your
but
resources. Use your resources that you have,
I
right?
know.
And put it into place to do what you have to do.
I
Okay?
know. I just feel bad. Like, how do I ever pay her back for that? You know what I mean?
I definitely understand, but angels are sitting there helping you. So allow them to help. All right,
Yeah,
Colleen?
I appreciate that. Yes, thank you. And I will
Anytime.
turn my microphone off and you continue. Thank
No
you.
problem, Colleen. You have a good one. Any other questions, guys? I love that. Jackie said, I think it says Jackie said in the comment, pass it forward. When someone blesses you with something or they open a door, they put you in a position, especially when you're hard time, keep your eyes out for someone else that you can do that same favor for. Megan did it for me and I will do it for someone else, and I'm quite sure someone did it for Megan, right? So as a community, what we need to do is definitely be vigilant to support each other, because like Colleen's story is not, I'm quite sure she's not the only person experiencing that. And I remember when I had my two boys and we didn't have a car and I was trying to go to work and things were heavy, right? So dark times doesn't last always, and I'm definitely proud of you. Keep going. And I definitely love that, pass it forward. That's definitely amazing. Pay it forward. Yes. Any other credit or grant questions, guys, in the chat?
Yes, Miss Jackie.
I have been using that link that you posted for the oh, it's the new thing. For the work from home stuff. That
Okay.
the gig economy stuff. I think that's what that was. Did you
Okay,
post that?
awesome. I don't think that was me. I think that could have been Megan. Megan is the post everything.
Well,
I do, but yeah, I think it was.
there's
That's good.
yeah, it was pretty. There's some pretty good stuff in there, but they get swooped up quick. So you really have to stay vigilant and like go and check on their site a lot. Just letting you guys know that.
Thank you. Any other questions, concerns, or comments, guys?
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I was and I did say pass it forward, yes, because that's what we have to do, and for things to come to us to pass things forward. But I just wanted to say I have heard that, and I don't know if this is correct or not. I'm not talking about a collection, I'm talking about a charge off. if somebody, if once they sell that to another company, I've understood that we shouldn't even pay on that anymore. Is that correct?
That is not correct. It depends on the situation. If the
Hmm.
company that has purchased the charge off can validate and verify that the debt is still owed, then you would make a conversation and try to settle the debt with that third party. My recommendation is never to pay the debt until that company can validate that that debt is rightfully theirs. If they have the
Okay.
contract, if they have the documentation, and if it's still within the legal statute that they can take you to court, then I would tell you to go ahead and settle the debt. But my blanket statement is not to pay it, and my blanket statement is not to pay it. It will depend on the parameters of those things that I just expressed.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, that came from YouTube University. So I wanted to kind of be sure on that,
You know,
exactly.
they give you the salacious stuff. They like Tubi. They're like Tubi movies. They give you just enough to get you hooked.
Right.
But yes, the collection and the charge off when it's sold to a third party provider, because some companies like Chase, when they sell your file off, they sell it with a contract and all the information. So they have the contract that signed that says that they're able to collect on this debt and that debt now belongs to them. So if you were to go to court with them, again, I'm going to say this again, guys. Do not be afraid of court, because court allows you to have a level of negotiation that
Oh,
allows
really?
you to say,
Okay.
oh, yes, in court, if they take you to court, you can negotiate your debt and you can literally say, when I settle this debt, let's say you settle the debt for 50% of what you owe. Okay, I'm going to settle this debt for
Mm-hmm.
50%, but once I'm done paying this has to be removed off of my credit report. That is in the court document. So now, if that company does not adhere, you can go ahead and not only send it to the credit reporting agencies, but you can file a CFPB complaint so that you can get paid because the company has violated a court ordered agreement. So you agreed to pay
Okay.
X amount, you paid that amount, and they were supposed to do something and they didn't do it. Now they're in breach of contract, and per the law, you can get paid for them breaching that
Okay.
contract, right? So don't be
Okay.
afraid of court.
I'm sorry. Okay. And then excuse me one second. Zaria, please get her something to drink. I'm on the phone. Okay, so then in that case then um would that have anything to do with, could that possibly have anything to do with getting rid of a lot of stuff because of the breach of contract? Are you aware with that? Not breach of contract, but um, the stuff that's been on the internet about the credit reports have been compromised recently.
You can leverage that, but it depends on if you can prove that your account was compromised. Also, there are different things going on. So the CFPB is suing Experian, right? Because they have not followed the law when it came time for validating the debt. So CFPB is
Hmm.
suing them. There's that. We just found out about Elon Musk having our information. But again, we have to wait to see what information is there. Can you use the data breach to your benefit? Yes. If you can prove that you were involved in the data breach, then you can
Hmm.
leverage that when you're sending your dispute letters out as well.
Okay, when you're sending dispute letters out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay, that's what I need to know. I'm kind of, some things have fallen off. I'm an older, more mature woman, so some things have fallen off, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of dealing with a lot of less things now, which I'm
Right.
really happy about. and
Absolutely.
so I'm trying to start there, and then I have a business, and so with the business EIN. I haven't really jumped out there to try to get a car or any. Well, I don't need a car, but I haven't tried to do anything big, so
Mm-hmm.
to speak, because I
Mm-hmm.
really want to get some funding. Is what I'm attempting to do, is getting some funding for some Airbnbs and things that I'm trying to start. So I'm trying to figure out, and a lot of times they'll say, "Well, all you need is your EIN," but then when they fill out the application, they want your social.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to
Mm-hmm.
get around that part.
Well, your business profile has to be set up properly. Some of the funders out there will not allow you to do it with just your EIN, especially if your EIN is not seasoned. And when I say seasoned,
You're
you do have a bank account. You have to
yes.
have a bank account. Money needs to be going in there. You need to make sure that you have a landing page or a website. You need to make sure that you have a business phone number. You need to make sure that you have a business email address. Like there's certain things that the banks are now looking for that are non-negotiable, where before it wasn't necessarily that way. So you want to make sure that you're and in the PDF section, Megan did drop a business checklist in there. So if you're looking to make sure that your
Tonight?
business, no, it was
Tonight?
dropped in there before, ma'am. So if you go over to the PDF, you should be able to
Okay.
see the business checklist. And if you don't, just send us a message and we'll make sure to re-upload it just in case it got missed. But we have sent out a business checklist before and a personal credit checklist because we want to make sure that you guys have the right foundation. But to your point, if you're wanting your business entity to stand by itself, you have to make sure that that profile is built out completely. And ideally, what a business profile looks like is at least 3 trade lines, which is 3 accounts showing on the actual report, is what they want on the business sector for you to get funding. All right. Any other questions in the comments, guys?
I have one more question for you. I'm so sorry. I was speaking to Megan about this the other night. I did, and thank you. When you say don't be afraid to go to court, Raquel, that was the best advice you ever gave me. Like I don't know if you recall my
No, I remember.
lawsuit.
I remember everything about what you
Yeah.
said, Colleen. Yeah.
That lawsuit, that lawsuit. So I went to court, actually showed up 2 weeks early, but that's okay. Then I showed up on the right day.
Mhm.
And I did all my research on this company. I did all the numbers and I actually just uploaded it all in ChatGPT and I had it figure for me that I had paid them $29,000 and only borrowed 19,000. And
Okay.
I had it all, yep. And I had it all written up and I went in there with confidence and
Mhm.
I did not let the attorney intimidate me. And he
Mhm.
tried, trust me, he tried. He tried to confuse me again with, big, oh, this number plus this number plus this number plus customary fees minus this. I was like, just stop right there. I said, I'm ready to talk to the judge. And I
Mhm.
mean, and he was like, well, let me see what you got there. And he looked at my paper that I was adding all the numbers, and I just
Mhm.
left the rest, all the lawsuits I had printed up that they had been in. I had all
Mhm.
the Tennessee consumer rights that had been looking at, and I left all my
Violated.
paper.
Mhm.
I left it all laying on the table, and I excused myself to the restroom. And when I came back, they dismissed the case. Um,
Exactly. Come on for your
so,
win. She got a dismissed case.
so my
Come
question,
on.
I
Mhm.
know I'm so stoked. Like this is what's really given me the motivation to move forward with just trying to solve the rest of this. Because if I can solve this, because I thought that I just thought they were gonna get me, because I
Mhm.
was terrified to go to court. I was terrified to ask to talk to the judge because they never gave me the opportunity. I didn't know I had that
Mhm.
right.
Mhm.
So, but they did write on there, Megan, that it's a non-suit, and because she asked me
Mhm.
this, without prejudice, and the cost was taxed to the plaintiff. So what is my next step with them? Because the lawyer then said to me before we were leaving, I can't promise you that they're not going to come after you again or try to get sue you again.
They may sell it to another person, but there's no way for you to know. So there's nothing for you to do at this point. Like there's
Okay.
no without them trying to sell it to another company for them to collect it. There's no way, you get what I'm saying, for you to have another plan of action because right now the story is ended. That doesn't mean there can't
Even
be a sequel, but the story is ended.
even though that was the attorney for the company and not
What do you
like,
mean, Colleen?
so it wasn't a collection agency. It was, well, he said he wasn't a collection agency. They told me that they were actually the attorney for the Harper Financial, the people that were suing me.
Correct. But okay, so you owed Megan money. Megan
Hmm.
hired an attorney. That attorney took you to court, right? On
Yes.
on behalf of Megan.
Yes.
That attorney lost the case in court. Megan
Right.
can take that debt and sell it to Benny.
Oh, so it doesn't
Megan
mean
can take
that
that debt.
Megan, it doesn't mean Megan lost the case. It just means that attorney lost the case.
No, Megan lost the case, but that doesn't mean that the contract that Megan cannot take the contract. You still signed a contract at the front end. If Megan wants to collect and is still within the collectability window, Megan can choose to sell that debt to a third party company and have Benny come after you and try to collect on that debt. Now, if Benny buys that debt from Megan for $5 and he comes to you and says, you owe Hartford Financial this amount of money, we've now purchased that collection. You can turn around and negotiate with that person, or you can do exactly what you did and say, hey, I already went to court. Here's the documentation that says that this has been kicked out. Is this something that you really want to move forward with? Because I'll go back to court with you.
Okay.
Right? So now
okay.
you have leverage.
Right. But what I didn't do was I did not ask that it be taken off my, you told me I should ask that it be taken off my record.
Credit report.
Like, yeah, and I didn't do that. Can I still do that?
No, your court is over. You've already gotten, it's already
No,
been
I
settled.
guess not. Can I do that? Can I what's the word I'm looking for? Can I write the credit agency and ask them to remove it?
You can. It doesn't mean that they will. They don't have to now. If you would have done it, no, what I'm saying, what I'm explaining is you have the ability to send a letter. I just want to set the stage that at this point they don't have to do anything because it wasn't court ordered. So to answer your question, yes, you can write the letter, but just be mindful that they may tell you no. Also, since you already have this win in your docket, the letter that I would write up, it says, since we went through this litigation, and the judge did see it in my favor, I think it would be in the best interest for your company to remove this debt off my credit report. That's how I would frame that conversation.
And I should write that to the actual company, not the credit report. Okay.
Yeah, you're sending that request directly to the actual company.
Gotcha. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Wait, Delaney. Can you hear me?
Yeah, girl, we can hear you, boo.
Okay, I had to raise my hand because I didn't know if you guys heard me or not. I was like, hello. Okay. First off, your case was dismissed without prejudice, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that means it's only been dismissed temporarily. They can definitely just go back, refile charges, and bring the case to a different court. So just be aware of that. Look at your statute of limitations and be aware.
But make sure you keep your documents, because all of the documents you have, if they take you to court again, more than likely when you go back, you'll be able to use that same documentation to get the second case tossed out. It's a lot easier once you already have a win under your belt.
Yep.
Right, because they're probably not going to tell the next person that they've already lost this case somewhere.
No, and what it really means, like when somebody says, hey, if I'm going to dismiss this without prejudice, it means please go settle this outside of court, you guys, is what that judge is trying to say. So
okay,
to be outside of court and not a court issue.
Okay. Well, so if I get anything from them in the mail, I should certainly address it immediately.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Good job, girl. That's right. Advocate for yourself, honey. Advocate for yourself. Come on, Megan, with the legalese. I love it. Hey, Barbara, what questions do you have?
My question is, when the credit score goes up and the banks start calling, do you want to continue with your current banking institution or go with another one?
What's in it for you? That's how I look at it. Every relationship that I have, the question is, what's in it for me? If my bank is giving me what I need to fund my life, fund my business, fund everything, and the interest rates are interest rating in a way that I'm okay with, then I'm going to stick with who I know. But if someone else is offering me something that is better and it's going to meet a need that my bank isn't giving me, then I'm going to pivot, right? So that would have to be what's in it for you, because understand the banks are doing what's in it for them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, my love. Any other questions, guys?
I do. I have one. I'm sorry. There was a guy that because I have a tax thing that I'm dealing with right now, and he tried to tell me that if I don't deal with this tax thing, if I apply for any kind of grants, that the government will not give me a grant if I owe tax debt. Is that true?
That is outside of my scope. I can't answer. Do you know that answer, Megan?
Yeah, it depends on which grant you're going after. If you're going after foundational grants, you won't be getting a federal grant. And if you do get a federal grant, they will take the money out of that grant. So they could give it to you, but they'll take the money out of it. But if it's like any other type, if it's not a federal grant, if it's just a state or a foundational grant, then you're fine.
Okay. Well, okay.
Awesome. Denise, what's your question, my love?
Hi, Raquel. I want to ask a question, please. I want to know because I'm trying to get a car loan. What can I do to help me? Because I know I need to work with my credit. What can I do right now additionally to help?
So let me ask, the meetings that we had before and the things that I gave you to implement to get the accounts and to pay the bills that you have you been doing that?
Yeah, I've been trying. I have been trying.
Okay. So when you say you've been trying, did you get one of the installment loan accounts that we talked about?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did
Installment
you get
account?
did you get the Kick account or the Trovo account that we talked about before?
Oh, no, I didn't do that. Okay.
Okay. So guys, one of the things that I want to point out is that if you're given steps, especially if you're on a one-on-one, you're given steps of what you need to do to kind of build, you have to put those things in place and then come back to the table. So that
Okay.
way we can see where you started from, where you are now, and then we can try to implement new things. I'll grab the link again and drop it in the chat. But if you haven't executed what we already talked about, go back to that drawing board, execute what we already talked about, and I'll resend you our meeting notes so that way you'll know exactly where you are. And you're right there because I remember you're in the 620 area the last time we checked. So as long as you're making sure that at least for the 6 months before you buy the car, you have on time payments showing, you're going to put yourself in a good position, right? So run the play that you were already given before so that you can see what that now has moved you forward to. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thank
Let me
you.
drop the links down. My pleasure. Any other questions, guys? Hang on one second. Let me grab these links for the family. Hold on. Ooh, is this thing not working? Okay. Any other questions, guys? I'm on a different screen, so I'm not able to see you guys. If you are dropping a question, so you can come off of mute and zip and zoom.
I don't see anything in the chat, so I'm
Okay, cool. I'm going to drop a couple of the options here that you guys can look. Give me one second. So,
you.
what you said?
Got one new message, but it was just you.
Yeah, that was me, Chad. That's me. I'm trying to drop these links. So, the first link, guys, is if you do not have any loans on your profile, this is an option for you. The second link is if you do not have any credit cards on your profile, then you want to click on that link. The third link I'm going to give you is also if you do not have any loans on your profile. Truvo gave you a $1,000 credit line, or is it 1,500? Okay, so the first link is a $1,500 credit line link that you can get. The third option is Kick, which can give you up to, I think it's 3,500 now they've gone up to. So if you guys have no credit cards, like nothing showing up on the system, then or nothing showing in your platform, these three links that I'm dropping will help you to go ahead and pivot and get to build your profile the way you need to if you're missing those either a credit card or credit line or a loan. Those links will help you close the gap where you need to. Okay. Any questions? We on to the last 15 minutes, guys. Any questions for Megan about the grant?
Do we have any wins or anything this week? Did anybody put any of this stuff to test and see the results?
Yeah, the banks are calling me.
I love Miss Barbara said the bank is trying to be my friend. Let's go. It's my
Megan,
pleasure.
can you repeat that question? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
What I said is It's if any wins or like did anybody put any of this information and implement it and actually get results, and if they want to share.
Yeah, Colleen. That's why she got her case tossed out. Colleen was like me. I implemented it.
But yeah, I mean that's so stressful too, going through that whole situation. Hateful.
Absolutely. Tony, that's right. We just trying to give y'all the pieces, but again, it's not gonna work unless y'all work it. Okay. So when we drop these links and we're giving out tips and we're giving out ways to move with grants and things that you want to check off the box, it only is going to move if y'all move. I promise we can't give you another play unless you've kind of put in some of the stuff in motion that's already been given. I love it. But I'm so excited for Colleen's win right now. Colleen, I'm gonna share this on my platform, Colleen.
I'm super stoked. Thank you. And I thought about you, like, I was like, okay, Raquel is going to help me through this. You were with me all night. I stayed up all night working on that stuff. Like, I was determined. I was not. And then I had to take a deep breath. My husband was like, you got this, babe. You can do this. And I was like, oh
Come
my
on,
God.
husband, for the win. He said, you got this.
But no, it was great because I was terrified. I just thought automatically when you step into a courtroom, everybody's against you. But I actually got some really good feedback from the judge and the bailiff. They were all very happy for me. Like he was like, I wish more people would stand up to these people because I see it all the time. Like they just go in and do whatever they say, and I was like, But I think that the judge recognizes that I know that they say like just the fact that you're there, it shows that you're not just trying to sweep it under the rug. Like you're trying to do something. At least you didn't just not show up, right? And I, in this case, had been there. Well, I was only supposed to be my fourth time, but 5 times. And the fourth time I showed up, I was 2 weeks early, and the judge kind of chuckled at me because he was like, is there anybody here that's I didn't call their name, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. But it was fine. He was like, it's okay. He was like, I appreciate you coming 2 weeks early, but we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And I was like,
That's
okay.
right.
So
Better early than not there, because if you would have not shown up, it would have been a default judgment on their behalf. So you did great, and I'm super duper proud of you.
well, it's all because of, I mean, literally, I would have never taken those steps without your advice. So I seriously appreciate you helping me through that. I really do.
It's
Because
my pleasure.
I tried to call attorneys and they all told me there was either 2 reasons they couldn't help me. One, because the court date was too soon, or two, the nonprofit attorneys, well, 3 reasons. I made too much money, which I was like $8 over. That was stupid. Or three was because I was already in litigation. They said if you can get a hold of us before they actually sue you. So I've actually, they said if you can get this like resolved, call us and we might be able to sue them. And I was like, well, I don't even know if I want to go that far, but if it gets them off my back, maybe I will. I don't know.
Benny said you inspire him. Come on, Benny.
Look, Benny inspires me. I don't know how he's got so much energy.
That's right. All right, guys. Any other questions, concerns, or comments? We end in 10 minutes. Okay.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Hey, Michelle helped me with some information. I was wondering if you could add some more insight. I'm behind on my rent. I was wondering, do you know any programs that help you with rental assistance?
Which city, state?
Washington, D.C.
Which, okay, let's say, okay. All right, let me look it up. The computer's asking me to do weird things right now. That's weird. You said Washington, D.C.?
Correct.
Right. Usually.
I'm trying to get as much information as possible. I'm behind a few months. I just need help. Michelle helped me some information, but I just want to get all the information so when I make some calls tomorrow, I can just go straight down the line, get the ducks in a row.
Yeah, findhelp.org, right? Already?
Yeah, I went through that.
All right, yeah, there's rental assistance here. You've got Catholic Charities, rental, you've got a lot of stuff actually. Hold on, let me share my screen. Actually, I'm not gonna share my screen because it'll definitely throw us out. So let me just put the links in there.
Yeah, I went through 211, findhelp.org. There was a main program that was in Washington, D.C. that all the social programs use, and that program is not available this so far this year. And so I've been running into multiple roadblocks. So
Yeah. I see that. Wait 1 second. I got your stuff. Okay.
thanks for the help, everyone.
Sorry, I'm just talking to myself over here. My bad.
Okay.
I know. This one here.
It's our pleasure, lovely. We want to make sure you win, okay?
There's this one. Then go over there. No. No. Copy. Paste it. Okay, you're gonna need to call these people. Do not fill out the application on the website because, like you just said, that program is depleted. But however, there is a which one call it? If you call them, they can give you the better information.
Okay, great.
Hold
Thank you so much.
on. Sorry, I can't see my chat anymore. There we go.
Thank you so much. Like I said, Michelle helped me earlier. I'm just trying to get all the information as possible because I made multiple calls throughout the week, last week, and I ran into multiple roadblocks because they all focused on this one program where they all contributed, and that program is not running this year so far, and it's been difficult. That's all. So
Yeah,
I really,
you can apply for homelessness services, and even though you're not homeless, they'll still have a lot of resources for you.
oh wow. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you. Thank you so much. You
They're back,
again,
their whole trying to get.
Megan's starting to break up.
yeah.
I heard him talking, so I stopped. But if you're already their whole goal is to prevent homelessness. So if you already have a home and all you need to do is make a payment or two, you know what I'm saying? Like that is their goal. So they'll go above and beyond to get you, so you're not one of their statistics and end up back on the street. You know what I'm saying? Like that's their goal. So just play it like that. Say, look, this is my problem. I don't want to end up homeless. I have nowhere else to go, and just kind of make sure you're talking to people though.
Oh, okay. I'll definitely do that. Yeah, I've been talking to so many people, but it was more like rental assistance. I never looked at it from the reverse perspective, from a different angle.
So they're going to do everything they can to prevent it.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let me, I know I put it in the text, but I might as well say it in person. You guys rock. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Agreed.
Thank you.
Thank you for the love, y'all. Let me tell you what's so funny is my chat always stays on send a message to Benny. And I'm like, why is it always telling me to send this message to Benny? Any other questions, guys? We're down to our last 5 minutes. We want to make sure that we are offering as much value. Oh, question in the chat. Is that only apply for a specific state? So I guess the link that you put in for the emergency assistance, Megan, is that state specific or does that apply to multiple people? I mean, multiple states.
There's each state will have their own set of things, but like the homelessness thing, that is just a rule of thumb right now. When it comes to federal funding, their goal is to prevent homelessness from happening and to get the people on the street off the street. So if that is a strategy anybody can use for anything. If you're gonna be homeless, make sure they know that. That will be their number one priority, is keeping you in your home.
Would they help me buy a car if I'll be homeless if I don't get one?
No.
It's only for rent. I'm sorry, Colleen. Colleen said, I'm
No
gonna try to run
mortgage?
this play.
Yeah, not even mortgage.
Colleen, aren't you, were you gonna start a nonprofit or no? Because I was gonna say you could also ask for donations like that, or if you're doing anything to help.
Yes. I was thinking about it.
Well, that might get your car. I mean, it won't get your car soon. It'll get your car in like a
Right.
year.
Right.
And you can.
But I also have the funds coming for that high tunnel, hopefully soon. So that's a thought too, but not soon enough.
Contact contact dealerships, contact their foundations, and just say, hey, I'm not a nonprofit, but do you guys work with a nonprofit that helps people who are working in rural areas get transportation? Because I'm in a rural area, transportation, I'd be happy to do Uber out here and like take people into like medical appointments or whatever on my spare time and volunteer. But like I need a car for work. Is like you can ask like usually the foundation like Toyota Foundation won't do that specifically with you because they have to do it to another nonprofit. But if you find out what nonprofit they're working with and then go through them, they'll actually make a recommendation for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I mean, it's a lot of footwork, but it might pay off. Or they might
Girl,
have.
I'm not afraid of footwork. I'm not afraid of the
You're not.
footwork.
I know you're not because you do a good job. Yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Did you guys post the links for the credit reports in here? So, because I know I downloaded it, but I cannot find it. I don't know what it would be under.
Createannualcreditreport.com.
Okay, thank you.
And if you guys ever go into a foundational website that offers the service that you need, at the very bottom, usually there's like some of our partners or donors that help make a difference. You can go down to those things and start clicking on those and apply to whatever they're also giving. Because like they're also serving a population of your area, usually. So that's also a good way to just kind of see what's out there. Rabbit holes, I tell you.
Come on, you gotta just keep going, just keep going. Sorry.
Just keep swimming.
I was supposed to watch The Lion King this weekend, y'all, but then it got cold. Yeah, so I came home.
Like outside? Were you outside?
I was gonna go to the movies with my husband and my niece and my son.
Oh my God, people just still do that?
Yeah, we go to the movies. I'm team stay at home as well. And I get really upset when my husband spends like $15 for us to go to the movies and then 2 weeks later it's on the smart TV like for $10. I'm like, we could have saved some coins.
I'm telling you.
But he's like, babe, it's for
I don't
the
like leaving.
experience.
I like my house so much.
I don't like going outside. I'm allergic to it.
It's hard. But like I absolutely love it when you can go to the movies now and you can get alcohol and like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and like to get treated like a kid but also get drunk at the same time. It's cool.
I'm so done with you. My husband just said she does not have a problem with outside.
that was
Hater. Hater. I like outside to like go grocery shopping and shopping.
I hate shopping.
And I'm a window shopper, y'all. So y'all don't understand. Like I like to go to the store and see what the store has and then like price it out and be like, oh, okay, this is how much it costs. And then I'll know exactly what store sells that particular item. And then I'll go back like when I have the money and be like, okay, this is what I was looking for. Because I'm a strategic spender. All right, y'all. Well, I want to say thank you guys for coming to tonight's TED Talk. Shout out to Colleen for like doing like advocating for herself. I want y'all to know advocating for yourself can be a win, right? Do not think that what they say is law because it is not. And if you show up for yourself, I promise you justice will probably meet you there, okay? I'm definitely excited to see what other wins you guys come up with. And please, guys, take this information and apply pressure. It is now 9 o'clock, and I want to say thank you. Thank you, Megan, for allowing me to come into the room and be with you.
Everybody could please, if you enjoyed anything about this lesson or this class, please, if you guys utilize any of it, please put it in the testimonial section because we like to see the wins there and like make sure to encourage other people to also take care of their own finances and take everything into their own hands.
And they can see emotion. Like realistically, Colleen, that win right there has inspired other people. And when people watch this replay, they'll feel inspired to go ahead and do it as well. So definitely share whatever wins you guys have. We really appreciate you. And on that note, my husband got cookies. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Have a good night. Bye. Happy Sunday.